There are a lot of videos out there about it, but today it's time to cut through the metal skin and install an RV window. Given the size of our window, we looked at the door. We decided we want symmetry on the side and on the top. Metal cutting saws tend to bounce, especially if you're using a jigsaw, so put up plenty of tape or other protection in case the tool gets away from you so you don't tear up your door. Many times we make mistakes by getting slightly distracted at a crucial moment. I think one of the most common mistakes folks might make here is tracing the inside of the trim ring for your cut. It would be just as bad of an idea to cut the outside of your trim ring as your pattern. At least if you cut it on the inside, you've got a nasty mess, but you can make your hole a little bigger. Make this mistake, cut it on the outside, and you've got a hole that's bigger than your window. What doesn't seem to be terribly intuitive until you really think about it, this inner lip right here is where you need to cut your hole. So that way this piece can slide through the hole and you can have access to your screws. Meanwhile, you still have a 1/2 inch of your outer ring to cover your cut. One of the things I do that really helps me when I'm making a big cut, I make a lot of small marks at the same measurement. When you're measuring, you can get a little bit off, as much as a 1/16 or sometimes even an 1/8 of an inch. I've learned by making a bunch of marks and then drawing a straight line, I equalize out the potential drift. Oftentimes you'll hear folks say I used a straight edge. That doesn't mean a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard. I use an actual proven straight edge. I've used my marks now to draw a pencil line with a straight edge. So that's telling me where I think square is for this window. Now let's see how the trim ring fits and draw a line in a different color, which will be my cut line. I've seen a lot of videos where people take the extra step to do a template on a piece of cardboard or paper, poster board. That's a good idea because you can quadruple check it. This is my solution. This is being held exactly where I want it to be. I will trace around it to get my line and then cut inside that line because it's drawn on the outside of the lip. Pro tip number 42, don't do this when it's 105 degrees outside in the southern US. Also, staring at a white trailer gives you snow blindness. The metal is going to get a little sloppy as you work your way around, so it's time to come out and put some more tape on it again to hold this in place. Also, you're going to take an absolute bath in metal shavings, so eye protection, a little hearing protection wouldn't hurt either. My jigsaw is pretty loud. By complete and total accident, I did not realize I was cutting so close to a door structural member. So providential that it worked out nearly perfectly. I don't know how I would have checked to see where these were inside the door. But next time I know, I'll be looking for soft spots. There we go. Not too shabby. Let's look at the inside. Not too bad. And that's it. Let's take a look. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's a nice window I got from Vintage Technologies. There was one thing I didn't like about it. Let me show you. I don't know if it'll really come through with the light outside, but the trim ring was not welded together. In fact, it had this goofy clip on it that was holding the trim ring together, but was clearly big, bulky, and was preventing the trim from fitting flush. So I was very carefully able to pop it apart I'll use a Sharpie or something to fill in the holes. It's covered by the screen anyway most of the time, so it shouldn't matter. Otherwise, it's a good window and an easy install.